I get involved with the clean air auction is because I think it's about time to act, to take action. Because I think the Hong Kong's air quality is really getting worse. I remember when I was a kid, the kind of bad air day doesn't last that long. But of course, I think city progress, industry grows. I think if we don't keep an eye on it, it will just go overboard. I think it's time to really monitor it. So I think it's a good cause. A few years ago, I started changing the way of thinking in terms of what is the role of a contemporary artist. I start thinking like, I used to think like, oh, I'm an artist, there's so little I can do in the society. Like people, okay, maybe, like my painting or my sculpture, they buy it and that's it. But then I ask myself, who am I serving? Who am I serving? How can I do something better? Can I fight for a greater cause? So I changed the way I work. I start engaging community service group like SOCO, Society of Community Organization. They help the homeless people of Hong Kong. I also work with other organizations such as Child Abuse Prevention Organization. And then I do artwork and installations that are relating to these kind of issues. And as a result, the work doesn't really resolve anything. Like for example, I built some homeless shelter for the homeless people, but the homeless shelter is not really going to resolve the homeless problem. But what the art can do is bring forward the issues. So when people who are not aware or unable to participate, they can participate through looking at the art and therefore put them at ease and therefore inspire them to think further. If you ask the ordinary people to go, wait, why don't you go talk to the homeless people? They might say no, right? But if you say, hey, I have an interesting installation about homeless, can you come and see? And they're willing to come. So I think great art forms a buffer zone to engage various problems. So people can look at it from a distance and then they can decide if they want to participate or not. In the clean air auction, I donated this piece right here. It's called the Exhale. It's a piece of work that looks like a pistol, but it's actually made by glass. My idea behind this is about my thinking about the war. When people go into a war situation, there's a lot of bad things happening, destruction, death, killings. But on the other side, people still keep weapons to protect their country, protect their loved one. So this kind of love and hate, killing, constructing, destruction, construction, there's an opposition of the same thing. So I think to think about war, you also think about peace, and they kind of coexist at the same time. So what happened is this pistol is actually can be taken apart into bits and pieces. It's kind of like a useless piece of a puzzle, but at the same time it can be a destructive weapon. So I think that's interesting. The work is called Exhale because when the bullets fly out, it's like hot air coming out. I think it's a lethal kind of air. I think it's very appropriate for this campaign.